Some of the wealthiest people you will never hear about do not run tech companies or crypto startups. They run laundromats, parking lots, and storage units. And they are quietly building real wealth while everyone else chases the next big thing. Today we are talking about boring businesses. Not glamorous, not exciting, not viral. But these are the kinds of businesses that may quietly make people very wealthy over time. By the end of this video, you will know exactly what these businesses are and why they work so well. Let us get into it. The Glamour Trap. Let me start with something most people do not realize. When people think about building wealth through business, they almost always think big and flashy. They want to build the next app, the next brand, the next viral product. They watch YouTube videos about dropshipping, NFTs, cryptocurrency, and social media empires. And there is nothing wrong with any of those things. But here is what often gets ignored. While everyone is chasing the exciting stuff, a quiet group of business owners is building real, steady, lasting wealth through businesses that most people would find completely boring. We're talking about car washes, storage units, laundromats, parking lots, vending machines, cleaning companies, lawn care services, businesses that nobody talks about at dinner parties, businesses that never go viral, businesses that most people would never think twice about. And yet, these boring businesses are, in many cases, creating more consistent wealth than the flashy ones. Today, we're going to look at why that is. And by the end, you might start seeing boring very differently. What makes a business boring? First, let us define what we mean by a boring business. A boring business is usually one that does something simple, practical, and unglamorous. It solves a basic problem people have every day. It does not need a revolutionary idea. It does not need a famous founder. It does not need millions of followers online. It just needs to show up, do the job, and do it consistently. Think about a laundromat. People always need clean clothes. That need does not go away during a recession. It does not get replaced by a new technology. It does not go out of fashion. Or think about a self-storage unit. People accumulate things. They move house. They downsize. They need somewhere to put their stuff. That demand is steady and reliable. Or think about a parking lot in a busy city. People drive. They need to park. As long as that is true, a well-located parking lot can generate consistent income day after day. These businesses are not exciting, but they are built on very real and very consistent human needs. And that is exactly what makes them powerful. The problem with exciting businesses. Let us talk honestly about exciting businesses for a moment. Starting a trendy business, a new app, a fashion brand, a content platform, can be incredibly rewarding. Some people do very well with these, but they also come with real challenges that people do not always talk about openly. Exciting businesses often have a lot of competition. When something looks cool and profitable, many people rush in. The market gets crowded fast. They can also be heavily trend dependent. What is popular today may not be popular in 2 years. They often require large upfront investment in marketing, branding, and customer acquisition. And many of them take a long time before they make any real profit, if they ever do. Boring businesses, on the other hand, tend to have different characteristics. Lower competition, because most people do not want to run a laundromat or a parking lot. Steady demand, because the service solves a basic everyday need. Simpler operations, because the business model is straightforward and proven. This does not mean boring businesses are risk-free. No business is. But the risk profile can sometimes be more manageable, especially for someone just starting out. Real examples worth knowing. Let me walk you through a few specific examples. These are the kinds of businesses that quietly create wealth for their owners. Laundromats. A laundromat is one of the most classic boring businesses. Once the machines are installed and the location is set up, the day-to-day operation can be relatively simple. Customers come in, use the machines, and leave. Laundromats tend to be cash flow businesses, meaning they can generate regular income on a fairly predictable basis. They are also considered somewhat recession resistant. Even when people are cutting back on spending, they still need to wash their clothes. Some laundromat owners run multiple locations and manage them with a small team. The income from each location, combined, can be substantial over time. Self-storage units. The self-storage industry has grown significantly over the past few decades. People rent storage units for all kinds of reasons: moving, decluttering, running a small business, storing seasonal items. Once a storage facility is built and rented out, the ongoing costs are relatively low. There are no complex products to manufacture, no inventory to manage, and often very little staff needed. Owners can sometimes manage units remotely using digital access systems. The income from a well-occupied storage facility can be consistent and long-lasting. Car washes. A car wash, especially an automated one, can be another strong cash flow business. Once set up, it requires relatively minimal daily involvement from the owner. People wash their cars regularly. It is a simple, repeated need. Some car wash owners have grown from one location to several, building what becomes a reliable stream of income over years. Vending machines. This one surprises people. A vending machine business is about as unglamorous as it gets, but some people build surprisingly solid income from it. The basic idea is you buy machines, place them in high-traffic locations, keep them stocked, and collect the income. It is not passive income in the perfect sense. There is restocking and maintenance involved. But the model is simple, scalable, and does not require a large team. Some vending machine operators start with a few machines and grow their fleet over years. Cleaning and lawn care services. Service businesses like cleaning companies or lawn care services are often overlooked because they seem too simple. But simplicity can be a strength. Low startup costs, ongoing demand, high repeat business, word-of-mouth growth. A cleaning company that builds a reliable client base can generate steady income with relatively low overhead. Some cleaning business owners have grown their companies into sizable operations with teams of staff and multiple contracts. The same applies to lawn care, pest control, and similar services. The power of recurring revenue. One reason boring businesses can be so powerful is something called recurring revenue. Recurring revenue means money that comes in regularly, not just once. When a laundromat customer comes in every week, that is recurring revenue. When a storage unit tenant pays their monthly fee, that is recurring revenue. When a cleaning company has a client on a weekly schedule, that is recurring revenue. Recurring revenue is valuable because it is predictable. You can plan around it. You can build on it. You can invest the profits into growing further. Compare that to a business where every sale requires finding a brand new customer. That is exhausting and unpredictable. Many boring businesses are built around services that people need repeatedly, often without even thinking about it. That repeat need is one of the quiet secrets behind the wealth these businesses can create. By the way, if this is making you think differently about business, drop a comment below. I would love to know what boring business idea stands out most to you. Why not many people talk about this? Here is an honest question. If boring businesses can be so effective, why does nobody talk about them? A few reasons. First, they are not exciting to talk about. A YouTube video about a car wash does not get as many clicks as a video about cryptocurrency or dropshipping. The content world rewards exciting topics. Second, the people doing well with boring businesses often do not want attention. They are not trying to build a personal brand. They are just running their business quietly and building wealth without an audience. Third, our culture tends to celebrate the flashy entrepreneur, the tech founder, the startup story, the overnight success. Boring businesses do not fit that story, so they get left out of the conversation. But the wealth they create is real. It is just quiet. The mindset shift required. To get into a boring business, you need a specific mindset. You have to be okay with doing something that is not impressive to most people. When someone asks what you do, saying, "I own a few vending machines," does not have the same ring as "I run a tech startup." But here is the thing. Wealth is not built by what sounds impressive. It is built by what works. If a parking lot generates consistent income every month for years, that income is just as real as any other income. The money does not care how glamorous the source was. You also need patience. Boring businesses often grow slowly. They compound over time. The first year might be modest, but by year 3 or 5, if the business is running well, the results can start to look very different. This requires the ability to think long-term, to value steady over flashy. And that kind of thinking is actually rare, which is partly why the people who have it can end up doing very well. How people get started. You might be wondering, okay, this sounds interesting, but how does someone actually get into one of these businesses? There are a few common paths. Starting from scratch. Some people build a boring business from zero. They buy a few vending machines. They start a small cleaning service. They launch a lawn care operation. This path takes time, but has lower upfront costs in many cases. Buying an existing business. This is actually a very common and practical approach. Boring businesses are bought and sold all the time. A laundromat owner who wants to retire might sell their business to someone new. A car wash owner might list their business for sale. Buying an existing business means buying something that is already running. It already has customers. It already has equipment. It already has a track record. This can sometimes be a faster route than starting from zero, though it does require more upfront capital. Franchise models. Some boring businesses are available as franchises. You pay a fee to use an established brand and proven system. Cleaning franchises, for example, are widely available. The model is laid out for you. You follow the system and grow your client base. Franchises are not right for everyone. They come with fees and rules, but they can sometimes reduce the risk of starting something new. Each of these paths has its own pros and cons. The right one depends on your situation, your capital, and how much time you can commit. Things to watch out for. Let us be honest here. Boring businesses are not magic. They have their own challenges. Location matters a lot. A laundromat in the wrong neighborhood may struggle. A parking lot with poor access may not attract many customers. For businesses that depend on foot traffic or local demand, choosing the right location is critical. Operations still require attention. Even a relatively simple business needs to be managed. Equipment breaks down, staff may not always be reliable, customers have complaints. Running a business, even a boring one, takes real work and real responsibility. Competition exists. Some boring businesses have local competition. A new storage facility opening nearby can affect occupancy rates. A second car washed down the street may split the customer base. Understanding the local market before entering it is important. Capital is needed up front. Some boring businesses, like storage facilities or car washes, can require significant investment to set up or purchase. This is not always accessible to everyone starting out. Starting small, with something like vending machines or a service business, may be a more realistic first step for many people. The point is not that boring businesses are easy. The point is that they can be rewarding in a steady, reliable way, if approached with the right preparation and realistic expectations. The hidden millionaire reality. Here is the thing about hidden millionaires. They do not usually post about their wealth online. They do not have personal brands built around their success. They do not speak at conferences about their journey. They just own a few businesses that run quietly. They collect income, they reinvest, they grow slowly over years. One storage facility becomes two car washes become 4. A small cleaning business becomes a regional company. The compounding of income and ownership over time can create a level of financial security that looks remarkable from the outside, but was built through nothing more exciting than showing up, solving simple problems, and staying consistent. This is not a fantasy. This is a pattern that repeats itself in communities all over the world, often unnoticed, often unreported, but very real. And the people doing it are not always exceptional in any obvious way. They are often just people who chose a boring path and stuck with it. That path is open to more people than most realize. Conclusion. So the next time you drive past a car wash or walk past a laundromat or see a storage facility on the side of the road, take a second look. That boring building might be generating consistent income for its owner every single day, quietly, without anyone noticing. Boring is not a weakness in business. Sometimes boring is exactly the point. The businesses that solve simple, everyday problems that do not depend on trends or hype or viral moments can sometimes be the most durable and rewarding businesses of all. You do not have to build the next big thing. Sometimes the smart move is to build the next boring thing and build it well. Remember, real wealth does not need attention. It grows slowly, silently, and often unnoticed. The question is, are you building appearances or are you building freedom? Subscribe for more insights into money, investing, and financial psychology. Until next time.